Hey, welcome back to the channel, everybody. I hope you're doing well. So please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. This really helps out the channel. It gets these videos recommended to other people. So you know the drill, guys. We're going to check out some clips today, and I will be giving my thoughts at the end of the show. So let's just get right into it and see what we got today, guys. We are live.
He was discovered in 1913, but by 1918 they were on to, hey, this stuff really works. By 1928, 10 years later, everybody in America was taking 20 milligrams a day. And you know what happened? Our hospitals emptied out. They had a medical emergency. No one was getting sick. So what the AMA and the FDA got together and what they decided to do was to give 7 medical students enough vitamin D to kill a horse. Well, of course, the kids got sick.
Right.
That was their excuse to remove vitamin D from the shelf. But because of the public uproar, the President of the United States had to commission University of Chicago medical faculty under Dr. Frock to tell the world, is vitamin D toxic? The study took years, and in the meantime, the FDA and AMA got together and said, we've got to stop people from taking the crucial vitamins A, D, and E. And so you know what we're going to do? We're going to use number psychology on the public. The 20 milligrams that the little lady takes every day is now 1 million units, and 1 million units will kill you. So what did he allow? 400. Now 400 is 1/100th of a milligram, not enough to do any good.
Well, there you go. Natural medicine works and it's not good for business. So let's bring in some corruption, lying, cheating, stealing, inversion, make it all scientifically validated because scientists are the of the modern era today. And then let's use psychology in marketing, branding, public relations, etc. to say it's all factually, scientifically valid. And that's what we have today with the whole commercial medical realm. God bless you.
Yeah, he's not wrong. I mean, Big Pharma is just a cartel.
A Canadian Cancer Society recently published that 15,000 IU of vitamin D, that's 50 cents, can terminate 65% of all women's breast cancer. Now, how significant is that? Well, the drug industry looks and said, you can't terminate breast cancer for 50 cents.
Sure.
We're in it for $1 million per patient. And so the FDA, the FTC, and the AMA all get together and try to suppress this information. And that's why I call it a conspiracy. I mean, this is such big business, they can't afford to let you know that 50 cents worth of vitamin D could cure you.
You don't hear about vitamin D and calcium as being the answer. And they're raising all this money and nothing's happening.
Because it's a 50-cent cure. And unfortunately, in the history of the drug industry, can you name one drug that ever cured a degenerative disease?
Penicillin?
It never cured a degenerative disease. It just kills virus. The point is, there's never been a drug, and there never will be. And yet, here these scientists are coming saying, but we don't need drugs because God's nutrients work.
You'd be surprised just what good nutrition will do for you.
For centuries, when a person felt sad, they would go for a walk. I mean, you see it in the movies. Oh, things aren't going good. I think I'm gonna go for a walk. To eliminate depression, going for a walk outside and looking at things far away. This is the technique that nobody wants to talk about because it's free. You can't charge for it. The act of walking gets blood flow, releases endorphins, which are the feel-good hormones, and then you look at things far away because when you're sad and depressed and stressed and anxious, you're looking inward. So you want to reverse that. In 15 minutes, you are going to feel like $1 million.
You know, he's not wrong. And you get to soak up some of that vitamin D.
And say let's just use the number of 1 in 10,000 at your age. Now, we're a little bit different in age. I'm not going to say how old you are, but you look great for your age. I will say that 1 in 36, that's not a pandemic, then what is? 1 in 36, and it used to be 1 in 10,000 have autism now? Can any of you guys with a straight face say that we shouldn't look at every aspect to what we're putting in our kids, be it from the food to the vaccines? 1 in 36. That scares the living daylights out of me.
Yeah, I have a school in my own city that is dedicated to these kids.
Governments worldwide are finally admitting that they engineered the downfall of our societies. A recent US report confirms what so-called conspiracy theorists have said all along. COVID likely came from a lab incident involving dangerous, taxpayer-funded research. They also went on to admit that the vaccines were recklessly rushed, skipping proper safety trials and led to significant harms, and said that schools were unscientifically closed, causing unprecedented learning loss and psychological damage to children. This confession by the US comes just weeks after the Canadian government released a report detailing how our top security biolabs sent deadly pathogens to China's military to be used used in the dangerous gain-of-function research which eventually led to the COVID-19 pandemic. Meanwhile, across the ocean, British leader Keir Starmer admitted that Western nations had been running an open borders experiment. Mass migration wasn't some unavoidable crisis, it was a deliberate decision by world leaders. This isn't about governments failing to respond to unforeseen problems, it's about deliberate actions, one crime against humanity after another. In the past 5 years, they've funded and engaged in risky bioweapons research involving deadly pathogens with a hostile communist nation. They enacted global tyranny under the guise of public health, only for all-cause mortality to skyrocket after coercing the public into taking experimental pharmaceutical products. They pushed millions into poverty, crushed small businesses, expanded bureaucracy, and facilitated the largest upward wealth transfer in human history. They launched mass psyops to scapegoat and gaslight anyone who dared to dissent, tearing apart friends, families, and communities in the process. Framing these actions as mere incompetence or well-intentioned mistakes is an insult to the truth. Governments and transnational corporations amassed unimaginable amounts of wealth and power during a mass casualty event they caused. Anything less than international trials for these psychopaths is a mockery of justice.
Yep.
We cannot let those who lied, thieved, and tyrannized their way into societal destruction to bury their immense guilt in sanitized reports, only to continue ruling over us while collecting taxpayer-funded salaries. It's time we see real accountability. No more empty reports, no more political doublespeak. It's time we learn what justice looks like.
Yeah, there will be no amnesty. I will not let up on this.
It's just the audacity with which they do this. I mean, they are elected officials, and in a democracy, you have to act on behalf of the people, and you have to act in their best interest. But that's not happening anymore. It really isn't. They serve all kinds of interests, especially in the last 3 years. We've seen they were, pretty much serving the interest of pharmaceutical companies, coming up with this, ridiculous mRNA shot, calling it vaccine. And they had no regard and no concern for the safety of the people they were injecting with that stuff for by the millions and billions. So that is a completely new quality of atrocity that they reached at this point. And it's
Isn't it
dire
amazing?
Circumstances.
It's amazing how they're just kind of all doing it. And it's
they are.
It's scary.
Yeah, they are.
And
it is. And the most scary part about this is they seem to be reading all from the same script. It's the terms they used, build back better, safe and effective, and no one is safe until everyone is safe. But these are just words. They're flaunting around, but what do they mean by no one is safe until everyone is safe? So obviously it means, well, until everyone got the injection. But is anyone safe with that mRNA shot? I don't think so. And what we've seen up until now, and there is still more to come, we're finding out more and more every day. And I've said that before, and I will say it again. This whole vaccination campaign, it will go down into the medical books as the biggest medical scandal ever. And yes, it will be known as the biggest crime to ever have been committed on mankind.
I agree. 100%. They want you chipped, compliant, and dipped in their science.
Is there anything people can do to clean their blood or clean their system out with
Yes.
prior vaccinations?
Yeah, so there are less expensive versions and there are very expensive versions. Plasma exchange is expensive. That's called therapeutic plasma exchange or total plasma exchange. And essentially what they do there, and I've had it done, it feels amazing, by the way, is they pull your blood out, they run it through a machine, they separate your plasma from your whole blood, and they actually take your plasma out and they replace it with sterile albumin. And so you actually replace the plasma with albumin, which is a sterile fluid that's safe to replace your plasma with. Because in your plasma, aside from platelets and other things, are mold spores, mycotoxins, if you have them, viral pathogens, heavy metals, glyphosate, you'll find microplastics, and also spike protein. There are lots of things in your plasma that kind of hang out in the plasma that can be pro-inflammatory and cause consequences down the road. And by exchanging the plasma, the theory is that you can get rid of a lot of those consequences. There is also Dr. McCullough formulated an over-the-counter capsule that has nattokinase, bromelain, and thymulin in it, which are very safe. And these are ways of binding spike protein and carrying it out of the body. You can actually see urinary spike protein levels drop after taking these, and they're inexpensive. They're regular over-the-counter, and there are formulations for spike protein detox. You can even Google spike protein detox, and you'll find ones with nattokinase, bromelain, and the thymulin in them. Those are the higher quality spike protein detoxifications. And you can do pre and post urine spike protein analyses, and you can actually see that you've reduced it.
Wow.
If you have severe long hauler COVID syndrome, and this is not FDA approved, but I've seen the clinical evidence on it. There are clinics outside the United States, some in Tijuana, other parts of the world, where you can do a blood filtration, which is similar to very similar to dialysis, right? Where you take blood out of one side of the body, you put it back in the other body, and it either runs through carbon filtration or heparin binding filters, or other types of filters, and then it puts the plasma and blood back into the body, and it actually can pull certain toxic chemicals out. So there's plasma exchange, which I've done. There's blood filtration, which you do generally outside the United States, which I have not done yet, but I'm doing it in December, just for general longevity purposes. And then there are over-the-counter spike protein detox you can take with the nattokinase, the bromelain, the thymulin.
Wow.
I've heard a clay bath is also pretty effective.
Goes deep. I mean, all this climate change stuff. I mean, come on. It's geoengineering. It's been going on since the 60s. They've been controlling the weather. There's no such thing as climate change.
Yeah.
Stop messing with the world. Stop messing with God's nature. The artificial lighting, they banned the incandescent light bulbs. Why do you think they did that? Because the blue lights, everything is, you notice how everything is being smart now? Like smart washing machines, smart this, smart that in your house. You know why that is? Because they want everybody connected to the cloud. It's human 2.0. And we're just going, oh, wow, it's smart. That's pretty cool. That's a good name for it. Actually, you know what cell phones and cell phone towers should be called? What the real name is, according to the DoD documents? Directed energy weapons. That's what they are. Your router, your cell phones, 5G towers, they're directed energy weapons. You can pull up all those. I've got all the links on here. You can see it all for yourself. But basically, they engineer the media, they engineer everything, and we believe that they got so scared because so many people are waking up and did wake up during the pandemic that's why they're escalating everything, and they're just basically throwing everything at it because they realize that they're losing right now. But we want to protect everybody and keep everybody healthy and keep everybody safe, right? The vectors that they're using, that we've identified, they're using artificial light, they're using fear, obviously, they're using parasites, they're using these bioweapons, they're using venoms, they're using different types of altered RNA and DNA, they're using electronic magnetic warfare, they're using the directed energy weapons, they're using nanotech, they're using plasmids, they're using lipid nanoparticles, polymers and plastics inside your body, microplastics, hydrogels. I mean, all of this stuff. How many people do you hear actually talking about all this?
Just guys like me and the people who watch it.
That's all it is. The NPC is to drain your energy and keep you occupied. And that's how there's a lot of people who are around you to do that. I mean, this is a perfect example. You say the skies are being sprayed and they're altering our weather, and the other person looks up and says, oh my gosh, it's cloudy. It's been a cloudy day today. And you're like, what on earth are you talking about? Can you not see the planes? They can. NPCs, non-playable characters who are just inserted into the realm to exist amongst you and really confuse you and mess with your mind. That's all it is. It's like MK Ultra on steroids is what it is. It's nuts. It's nuts.
Yeah.
They are just existing in the realm around us to kind of be like bystanders as we go about this life journey or this life test. And in the movie The Truman Show, that's what he's exposed to. There are NPCs all over while he's wandering around, and they're just to keep you occupied.
Why don't you let me fix you some of this new Mococo drink? All natural cocoa beans from the upper slopes of Mountain Nicaragua, no artificial sweeteners.
What the hell are you talking about? Who are you talking to?
Yeah, a lot of them are in my comments.
I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion or not, but I feel like if I'm paying this much to go to college, we should not be teaching out of textbooks. We should not be saying, okay, read these chapters and then we'll take a quiz on it. Because what am I paying you for? I could have just paid $80 for this textbook and learned it on my own time. You could have just said, hey, if you read all of these books, here's your degree. So, like, explain the I have 2 classes that just, we read the textbook and then we take quizzes or we do a discussion board on it. What am I paying for? It's about $520 per credit hour. Each class is 3 credit hours. That's over $1,500 per class just for you to tell me to read a book every semester. I'm paying over $3,000 this semester for teachers to tell me to read the book.
Yeah.
Get fucked.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember when you started tasting the red pill?
I think our parents were right. It was the damn phones. We laughed when we were children, hearing it's that Snapgram and InstaChat and Face Talk. They didn't understand. They couldn't even say it right. We thought we knew better than them. They didn't know what it was like having a world at the tip of our fingertips. We scroll through the trash so much we have headlines tattooed on our skin, wires for veins, AI for a brain. And they may not have understood, but they were right. It is the damn phones. A drug in my pocket, dependent on stimulation. But can we blame us? We were but children when they were given. We didn't know how to stop it. If I added up all the hours I spent on a screen, existential dread and regret would creep in, so I ignored this fact by typing away. And it's not like I can throw away my phone. It's how we communicate. It's how we relate. It's the medicine that is surely making our souls die. I used to say I was born in the wrong generation, but I was mistaken, for do I not do everything I say I hate? When I look in the mirror, I see a ghost staring back. I try not to think too much about who I would be without technology. The character behind my phone screen has become self-aware. Almost worse than being naive, for I know it's poison, but I drink anyways. We used to be scared of robots gaining consciousness. A lie by the media companies to distract us, as to not ourselves become conscious of the mess they created. We are the robots, we are the product, so I sit and I scroll and I rot and repeat. Sit and scroll and rot until my own thoughts are what is being fed to me on TV, until my own feelings are wrapped up in celebrities, until my body is a tool of my political identity. And so I sit and I scroll and I rot. And so I post on the internet how the internet has failed us so that I may not fail my internet presence. I think our parents were right. It was the damn phones.
Yeah, and you spent more time on it during that pandemic than any other time.
We see in the sky on a regular basis these long white trails that do not dissipate. They actually form artificial clouds and block the sun is an expressed goal of geoengineers.
The contrails, not the chemicals, the contrails occur because of cold air, -30. It takes high altitude, around 30,000 feet plus. There's carbon dioxide and water vapor in that exhaust. That turns to ice crystals, and that's what you see, the white stream behind it. Those white crystals of ice warm up, dissolve, and the smoke goes away. And it never lasts more than a minute. What we're seeing now, and I first could not believe it, and I started looking at the skies, and these are not normal. They're not natural.
I'm here to give you testimony that chemtrails are indeed real. They're spraying almost every day. I watch the clouds and watch the spraying program going on. I want to tell you that we're in very great danger from the pollution that's coming down over us. And we've been led astray by the military-industrial complex, and they're responsible for the clouds creation and weather manipulation programs. They're dark operations. That's why they're not out in the media.
There's a huge amount of aluminum being found because these sprays have aluminum, strontium, barium, manganese, and there's a lot of argument that aluminum is very common to be found. But aluminum is only common in a bonded form. It's not common in a free form, and we're finding high rates of free aluminum in the soil, which is not natural.
Yeah, we're being sprayed like actual bugs.
Don't they teach about Nikola Tesla in schools? Because he believed that the numbers 3, 6, and 9 held the pathways that forced energy to manifest itself into physical form. Through focused attention and repetition, our thoughts become our reality. And by creating the habit of writing down the things that you desire, the vibration will manifest itself into your desired outcomes. Write down the things you desire 3 times in the morning, 6 times in the afternoon, and 9 times in the evening. You can manifest anything that you want in your dream life by affirming it as if it has already happened.
That's got to be the toughest part about it, though, is believing it to be true before it's
If
happened.
you think adrenochrome is a conspiracy theory, you're in for a big shock.
Tell me about it.
Well, adrenochrome, let's have a look at what it is. It's harvesting the blood of infants. They get the children into a fearful state, which produces the adrenochrome, and they harvest that blood. The young blood helps with their anti-aging and gives them some kind of phenomenal power.
Wow.
And like I said, it's disturbing. So each year we know that children go missing. In Australia, it's around 20,000 children that go missing per annum. In the UK, it's around 112,000 children. And coincidentally, in the US, it's around 460,000 children per year that go missing. Obviously, some children run away from home. They also go missing for some of these rituals in the secret societies. But there are definitely rituals that go on that do involve human sacrifice.
Yeah. If you haven't been down that rabbit hole, tread lightly.
When a parent walks up to one of our safe haven baby boxes, all they have to do is open the door, place their infant inside, shut the door, take the orange bag, and walk away. Baby is safe and secure in the bassinet. You're going to hear in probably about 60 seconds the alarms start going off. That is how quick these boxes are. We also have a camera on the inside that will pick up baby only, not mom, not anybody walking up to the box. We just want to have eyes on the infant immediately when the baby is placed in the box. So we'll just wait for the alarms to hit. You'll see how fast this is. This is giving mom time to get away.
Object present in baby box. Check baby box.
That's the
Fire station 1 code pink. Code pink. Check call alerts. Map page 113 at 222 West Elm Street. FD1. Code pink. Check call alerts at 222 West Elm Street. FD1. Fire station 1 code pink.
If they are not in the building, their radios are going to advise them to come back here. So if nobody's here, this box is still going to work like if you call 911 from your house. They're still coming. Once the firefighters get here, they're just going to grab the bassinet. They're going to take the baby, they're going to get in an ambulance, and they're going to transport to the closest medical facility. And that is how the baby box works.
Wow, so convenient. The road to hell was paved on good intentions.
Does anyone else feel like they're just too aware of everything? I can't shake this feeling that all of this, our entire human experience, is just temporary, constructed, and ultimately meaningless, like I'm seeing through some veil that others can't. Think about it. The days of the week, someone just arbitrarily decided this is Monday, this is Tuesday, and we all just accept it. It's all made up. The guy that made up currency and street names is no smarter than me or you. Money is just literally paper that someone decided this is valuable, and we all just agreed. We're following systems created by regular people who happen to come before us. I find it fascinating to watch people rushing through their day, stressed about deadlines and status and possessions, completely unaware that they're playing a game they never chose to join. They're so caught up in the matrix of social constructs, they never question any of it. But once you see it, you can't unsee it. And sometimes I wonder if ignorance really is bliss.
Yeah, 100%. Being red-pilled it's a blessing and it's a curse at the same time. There's a clip I saw that remains with me, and it's a guy saying, once you put on those glasses, you can never take them off. And it's true, once you wake up, there is no going back to sleep. Being awake is lonely, it is disheartening, it is depressing, is soul crushing when there's so many of us who are aware of what's going on out there, and yet the NPCs just walk around living their best lives. We can't do that. People like you and me, we can't do that. I'm numb. I'm dead inside. I laugh a little bit sometimes, but I mean, I'm just not happy anymore. I don't know about you guys, but maybe it's just because of the content that I sort of indulge in, or just knowing what I've known during the last decade doing this research. But yeah, all I can say is it's lonely. Very, very lonely. I don't have a single friend, like a real friend, like beyond my wife. I don't have a friend. The pandemic saw to that. Not everybody saw it the way I did. People are starting to, but some of those people that now know that I was right are still too proud to come and tell me that I was. And it is what it is. And I think a lot of us are in that same category. A lot of us. And it just sucks that, you know, we can talk online, and that's really it. Eh? Geographically, we're just so far apart, it's spaced out. It is hard to get together and actually build a community that isn't online. But I digress. But that's what I got today, guys. Want to thank you for coming and hanging out with me. Hope you enjoyed these clips, and I'll try to put out another one on the weekend to make up for my hiatus, if you will, the last 2 weeks. But no promises, but I will try. But if not, I will see you tomorrow on Channel 80. If you want to come over and just take a break from all of this doom and gloom, because that's what 80 After Dark is about. It's just a breather. Just come take a breather. That's really all it is. So, but I'll see you in the next one, guys. Till then, 80 Canadian. Signing off.